Guys, welcome back to the official final Kingdom Hearts video on the channel until further notice, aka until Kingdom Hearts 4, aka 10 years into the future. But guys, you read the title. We are going to be ranking every single Kingdom Hearts game that we have played / movie that we have watched on a tier list. Alright, you guys love tier lists, right? You guys flarking love tier lists. What is this? Now Jogway, what is this, bro? Bro, get this freaking pissing me off just looking at that. You guys love tier lists, alright? Everyone loves tier lists. Okay? The epitome of internet elitism right here on the channel, alright? I am the smartest. I have the best tier list. And that's why you guys are here. Alright guys, so we are going to be rating every single Kingdom Hearts game that is on Steam and the movies on a tier list. I just want to make this clear. This does not mean, this tier list does not mean like whether you should buy the game or not, or whether the game is worth playing, or whether it's like, you know, like if I give something a D, like it's like trash, you know, no, it's just like just a reference to show you, you know, like which games are the best out of the entire series. And honestly, if I was to be, you know, if you are starting the series, I think every game you should play. Especially if you want to invest yourself into the lore and all that stuff, because everything has importance. Even Recoded. Recoded is widely regarded as one of the most, you know, just worst Kingdom Hearts games in terms of its story and just, you know, but still, there are still implications from Recoded that are used in the future of the series. So, every game I would suggest, you know, if you want to, get into the community, into the game, play all of them, alright? But, yeah, we're gonna be making a tier list, and I'm gonna be also, like, kind of reviewing the games as well, like a mini review of each game, so you can maybe get a little bit of feel. So, be warned, there is gonna be some spoilers. Dude, I've never done a tier list ever. This is my first ever tier list video. Guys, should we become a tier list YouTuber? Should I become a tier list YouTuber? Let me know in the comments, alright? So, let's just start this thing off just from left to right, alright? So, we have Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. We have S, obviously, if you don't know, S tier is the best, A tier is great, B is good, C is satisfactory, D is, you know, it's okay. So, let's go with 358 over 2 days. Unfortunately, I did not play the game. I did not have a Nintendo DS, which it was exclusively on for some odd reason. But I was able to watch the movie in the Steam collection. Now, unfortunately, I was hammered during that movie. I was so drunk, I blacked out, and then I woke up, and then I threw up, and then I resumed watching the movie after I threw up. And you could literally see it on the channel, not me throwing up, but I edited it out, and I literally blacked out. I'm not even kidding you, I blacked out for about 2 hours. I slept, I threw up, I slept, and then I woke up and I was like, alright, let's do this, let's watch the rest of the movie. So, 358 over 2 days. Unfortunately, I didn't play the game, and the bad thing about the movies that Square Enix just doesn't do well is that they don't really fill in the gaps that you would have consumed or would have understood if you played the game. So there are a lot of important things in the movies that obviously don't get shown because they're simply gameplay or they're in-game dialogue, in-game cutscenes. The movies only show the cinematic-ish in-game cutscenes, not like the in-game dialogues and stuff, you know, like it's like making a puzzle and not having all the pieces, you know? So I can't really give my greatest I can't really give you guys a solid opinion on this game, but from what I watched and from the story that I experienced while I was extremely drunk and intoxicated, I think 358 over 2 days is gonna go in the A category. All right. And just a heads up, Kingdom Hearts 1 through 2, it's some of the best games ever created. All right, best piece of fiction ever. All right, so I think 358 over 2 days at A is solid. I really enjoyed the story, and it brought a depth to the lore of Kingdom Hearts that Kingdom Hearts 1 did not bring. And Chain of Memories started to, build upon. So that Chain of Memories and 358 over 2 days started to really, expand upon that lore. So I can always appreciate that. It did get a little confusing at times and just kind of weird at some moments, but I mean, I still think it's an A tier game. I didn't, like I said, I didn't play it, so it could be higher if I played it, but for now, it's just a movie, so I watched, so it's gonna go in the A tier. Sorry, so to make sure everything was good with the OBS. Alright, so next game, Recoded. I actually liked the writing of Recoded. I thought it was very concise, because they really just had like one kind of theme running throughout the entire game. And it was the datascape, right? So everything was just hard fixated on the datascape, and I think that was when we started getting lore about Maleficent trying to get the black box. I think that was when that black box started getting introduced. Like, the writing was good. The importance of that writing, it kind of just felt like a filler episode of Naruto, where it was just like kind of there for fun. It was just like, oh, okay, like, cool, like, this is happening, like, yeah, it's great. But for the overarching story of Kingdom Hearts, it didn't really impact it that greatly. Sure, there were moments in the future games where the datascape was a thing, but what Recoded didn't really accomplish was where that datascape would eventually, what it would eventually become, like, what is the importance of this? Why are you telling this story of the datascape? And there wasn't really anything of importance in the future of the games that really expanded upon that. Now, I know, guys, in the Key series, the datascape is really big, but I've never played the Key series because they were Japan exclusive and I didn't have a VPN, so I don't know. But that's when they started to really explore the datascape even more. So, but from my limited knowledge, it really didn't, and from the games that I played, it didn't really expand upon the datascape aside from Recoded, There were just mentions of it in Kingdom Hearts 3 where Sora would be like, oh my god, the datascape, and then they would never talk about it again. And then, da-da-da-da, datascape, never talk about it again. This might change, but we'll go bottom of C. Recoded for bottom C. Because I like the writing. I thought the writing was good. I thought the cutscene movie that I watched was very coherent. It was just boring, and it felt like it didn't really, amount to anything, But, they did have the datascape in Kingdom Hearts 2 with the data Twilight Town, so there was sort of like a connections here and there to build up into this Recoded. But like I said, it just felt like it didn't go anywhere, and the plot was just very paper thin, It just didn't really feel like this had any importance in the overarching story of KH. So, Recoded, gonna get a C for me. Like I said, these might be subject to change. Melody of Memories, I never played this. Maybe I should, so I'm not gonna do that. Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. This was basically like a little like a gameplay showcase of what, Kingdom Hearts is gonna look like on the new engine, Unreal Engine. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. The story was pretty good. It didn't really have too much impact on, or excuse me, not impact, but it didn't really go too in depth on too much. It did set up things like Aqua being stuck in the Realm of Darkness, which eventually we had to save her in Kingdom Hearts 3. It answered, what happened at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, where, Riku and Mickey were behind the door to Kingdom Hearts or whatever, and they closed it, and for some reason Mickey gets, you know, freaking his shirt ripped off by some Heartless. They want to see his freaking mouse tits or something like that. But that was kind of like the only like important story stuff. So for Birth by Sleep Fragmentary Passage, just because it's not like it's not even a complete game, you know, it's just like a tiny little chapter in the entire novel of Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna go B. I still enjoyed it. The gameplay was very refreshing. It was some of the most fluid combat. The worlds that you had to go through were extremely boring, though, I will say. The story stuff was great, like seeing Terra and Ven, and then seeing Terra be a Chad, you know, as usual, fighting off Diddy North's heart inside of his. That was great to see. Obviously, the end was great to see. That you know, that monologue from Aqua at the end was also amazing to hear from her voice actor, to really just give a great performance. She gave a great performance in Fragmentary Passage. I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10. But in my official review, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I think I would drop it down to like a B, just because like it's just a tiny chapter in like the big story that Kingdom Hearts is, and it felt like it like I said, the worlds could have been a little bit more exciting, but it was very much just like a, you know, like a demo for like a gameplay showcasing of, you know, what the new gen Kingdom Hearts is gonna look like and play like and feel like and all that stuff. So I'm gonna give it a B. I definitely enjoyed it a lot better than Recoded. Recoded was so boring. I think I was like falling asleep during that. But yeah, it definitely could have used a little bit more meat on the bones. But I mean, it was like a 2-hour game. You know, like what I can't judge a 2-hour game the same way I judge a full-length game. You know, so I'm gonna give it a B. Birth by Sleep though, Final Mix. All these are the Final Mix versions, by the way. Now, Birth by Sleep is interesting because the story of Birth by Sleep is amazing. All right, it's some of the greatest stuff out there. It sets everything up, and you know, sets our main 3 protagonists, Sora, Riku, and Kairi up, and it follows the story of you know, Keyblade wielders of the past. And you know, I think the story is amazing, but I think like I said earlier, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 through 2. That was some of the best stuff in the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise. And then from then on forward, I feel like the quality of the games just degraded. And the quality of this game, how it degraded was the writing, man. The writing was just paper thin. The characters were paper thin as well. There were so many moments where I wanted to see Ventus's rehabilitation. I wanted to see how he felt. I wanted to see how Aqua was handling being the mom and all of this. I wanted to see how Terra felt struggling with the darkness inside of him. And they gave us like 1 or 2 scenes of that, and then they just went straight to the generic Kingdom Hearts cliche slop, where it's like, my friends are my power, the light, you know, all that stuff, you know. And I would have loved to get more deep within these characters and to really explore their personalities, their motivations, their struggles, how they're feeling, because when we went through the worlds just felt like, you know, the generic slop, like, oh, well, my best friend is, you know, Terra, and with the light is the way, and, you know, all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, there were some great moments in the game where it does really get deep with the story, but then it just, like, goes immediately off of the path, and then you're back to generic, you know, not really great writing, and just kind of stuff that doesn't really push what we just saw forward. Like, you know, there's just so many moments, like the whole thing with Ventus going to Radiant Garden and seeing Lee and Saïx, Lee and Isa. After that scene, we don't hear anything about Lee and Isa until the very end, where we see them in a cutscene in the credits, you know? So it's like, there's just so many missed opportunities with this game when it came to the writing and the pacing, that I think I'm gonna give it a B+. It's definitely better than Fragmentary Passage. The game is good. The game is good. It hits those. It kind of follows that same issue that I had with Kingdom Hearts 1, where Kingdom Hearts 1 would have these extremely impactful, important story moments, and then following up with just a boss fight and more Disney worlds to go through, and just not much. They kind of just like lose the momentum, if that makes sense. Like they build up the momentum, they build up the climax, and then they almost get to the climax, and then they just drop, and then, or maybe they get to the climax and then they drop immediately all the way back down, which is like I'm talking like a freaking 90-degree down, not like a smooth transition down, you know? And that's what Birth by Sleep I had a big issue with, because like there were so many moments where I wanted to explore how Ventus felt about, you know, him rehabilitating from being literally a soulless husk. He was literally lifeless when they found him in the Land of Departure, and we got to experience his feelings about that with just one scene where, or I think like maybe two scenes, but there's like one major one where Aqua, Terra, and Ven are, you know, in the Land of Departure, and, you know, they're trying to cheer up Ven from, you know, his, from Xehanort taking the darkness from him and making him literally become, like, comatose and whatever. And that was great. But then after that, the momentum just dropped, and it just, like, went straight to, okay, now go to Deep Space, or go to, you know, Disney Town, you know? And I wish they would have had that pacing and the transition from, you know, having a important event a little bit more smoother. So still a great game. I think I'll still give it a high B. I think high B is good. The endings are Terra's ending is freaking amazing. I love Terra. Terra's this game introduced one of my favorite characters, by the way. Terra is my favorite character in the series, if anyone wants to know. Terra's my favorite, then it's Sora, then it's Riku. Those are my top three. I think this is back cover, right? This was the movie. Back cover introduces the Foretellers, it introduces the Master of Masters, it introduces the Keyblade War that inevitably ends up becoming the Badlands and the Keyblade Graveyard. I thought that was a great setup. One issue that I have, I know I'm being a little negative Nancy, but one issue that I have with just the entire Kingdom Hearts story is, let me know if this is an L take. Let me know if this is an L take or this is reasonable. But I just don't like the whole Kaguya thing. If anyone watches Naruto, and if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you definitely you need to leave if you haven't watched Naruto before. But Kingdom Hearts is kind of following the trajectory of the whole Kaguya thing in Naruto. Kaguya was probably one of the most hated villains in all of Naruto because she just came out of nowhere, you know? It came out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, you know? Everyone was anticipating Madara to be the big bad, and he was the guy that was, you know, the main antagonist of the entire series of Naruto. But then, like every shonen, they always introduce a bigger bad guy, and I just felt like this game, or this movie, is following in the exact same footsteps as Naruto's antagonists, where Xehanort was the Madara, you know, this freaking evil mother effer, or this you know, I wouldn't say he's evil, but the big antagonist of the series, the big bad guy of this series. And then back cover just says, no, it's actually the Master of Masters, and it's like What are we doing here? You know, what are we doing here? I'm not opposed to having a big bad guy, because obviously the Xehanort saga is over, so in order to continue the games, there has to be a bigger bad guy. I get it. But it's like, I wish that transition into that was a little bit more graceful. It took them, what, this is like the 8th game in the series, 8th or 9th game in the series to introduce the big bad guy and mention him one time out of, you know, when the entire fan base has played through 7 games, and we're finally now getting introduced to the big bad guy. It reminded me of the Kaguya moment in Naruto, where we're just like, oh my god, yeah, Madara, he's the freaking big bad guy. He is the guy who's been pulling the strings the whole time, and then next thing you know, Kaguya comes out of nowhere, and then it's just like, okay. So it all depends on how well Square Enix builds up the Master of Masters, and you know what his goals are and stuff. I'm interested, obviously. I think the whole black box thing, the foretellers thing, coming back into the present day, and at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 when they meet at the Keyblade Graveyard or whatever, and then the Master of Masters kind of pulling. I think that's okay. I just, the execution has to be there for me to be like, okay, this was good. Or else it's just going to be a Kaguya, and the execution is going to be horrible, and it's just going to be bad for the series. So, overall, I'm going to give it higher than Recoded. I'm going to give it a C, high, on the high C tier. It told an interesting story, it gives you the origins of the Keyblade Graveyard. Was it the most interesting and the most, you know, craziest plot? No, it wasn't, but it was something that, you know, is going to set things up in the future, and ironically, it happens in the very beginning, so I think it was okay as a movie. The movie was basically just Mafia. The movie was basically just Mafia, and, you know, I love Mafia, and, I mean, it was cool. It was alright. Master of Masters, and just understanding, you know, there's, you know, what his plans are, it did spark interest within me. But like I said, it felt like a Kaguya moment where I was like, damn, man, we just did this whole Xehanort thing, and he wasn't even the big bad guy. It wasn't even Madara. It was Kaguya, you know? So that makes me just feel a little bit, you know, iffy. You see what's next, guys. You see what's next. We gotta add a row, bro. We have to add a row for this absolute atrocity. We have to add a row for this absolute atrocity. Dream drop distance. Yeah, that's right. I'm not rage baiting. Dream drop distance was horrible. Alright. I enjoyed everything up until the final act. Or actually, no, I didn't. That's a lie. I enjoyed everything if you just take out Xemnas and you take out Ansem. Because them being alive does not make sense. And then also they threw another horrible thing, and they put Old Master Xehanort in here. This is the game that took everything before it and said, F you. None of what you were studying in the lore is correct, because now we're gonna put it on its head, and we're gonna put it on its ass, and we're gonna just say screw you. The reason why Dream Drop Distance, in my opinion, is the worst game in the series is because of its story. I think that the introduction of time travel is fine, alright? I love movies and movies and shows with time travel, alright? Looper, I love that movie. Steins Gate is my top 5 anime of all time. I love Steins Gate. But you wanna know why it's my top 5 anime of all time? Because they did time travel well. They introduced time travel, an insanely complicated and convoluted thing, writing tool, 7 games in. 7 games in. So we had to, so the players, the fans played 7 Kingdom Hearts games, and then on the 7th one, which I believe Dream Drop Distance was the 7th one, they said, now people can time travel. With no shred, with no whisper, no inkling of this being a thing in the universe of Kingdom Hearts up until this point. And with horrible writing for time traveling brings plot holes, alright? There are so many plot holes that are in Dream Drop Distance, and I have to say this right now. Kingdom Hearts fans, stop, like, the people who are writing explanations for the time travel incorrectly, you are the reason why the community is not good, okay? I'm not gonna blame everything on you guys, but it's a big reason. Because you guys are just misinforming so many people, when in reality, like people will literally freaking, like, go through freaking hula hoops of fire, drive 1,000 miles an hour on a 50-mile zone, you know, squirm through all sorts of freaking tight passageways to explain this time traveling thing and how all of this makes sense, when in reality, they're wrong. You're wrong. It's the sheep leading the sheep with this whole debacle of everyone trying to make sense of this time traveling thing, alright? And I'll explain it right here, right now, alright? First of all, Ansem and Xemnas should not even be existing in Dream Drop Distance. Their existence in Dream Drop Distance is a literal paradox, and that's what pissed me off when I played the game, because I was like, dude, why is Xemnas back? Why is Ansem back? And what the writers of Square Enix love doing is they just love putting shit in there and then saying it's gonna make sense, and then you have people on the internet going like, trying to figure it out, and then they make up these absolutely horrible explanations as to how this makes sense, when in reality, it just doesn't make sense, alright? I'll explain to you how, okay? Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, we defeat Ansem and we defeat Xemnas. They recomplete! According to the rules of Kingdom Hearts, they recomplete back into Terra Xehanort. They don't become 3 hearts in 1, alright? That's only possible through Sora, and that was the only time it was mentioned where an individual was able to house more than 1 heart in their body, right? So once Ansem and Xemnas recomplete into Terra Xehanort, they're 1 again, right? And so the argument here is that young Xehanort went back in the past before Ansem and Xemnas were defeated. He got their hearts, and he brought them to the future, or the present, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Dream Drop Distance. And then, I think he put them into replicas or something like that, and then that's how they are able to live. But that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Because there is no Ansem and there is no Xemnas that exist in the present day. And according to the rules, I'm going on a rant, by the way, all right? I'm gonna try to make this. I'll try to make this quick. But according to the rules, you know, the heart, you have to have. There has to be another you in the time that you're traveling to, or else it won't work. And obviously, Ansem and Xemnas have recompleted in the Terra Xehanort. They are a whole heart. The term is called recompleting, not adding more hearts to one individual. It's recomplete. Their hearts become 1 again inside Terra Xehanort. Alright? So that's fine, right? The whole traveling to the past to find Ansem and Xemnas before they were defeated is fine, but you have to understand, once you travel back to the present day, their hearts are no longer there. They're gone. They're inside of Terra Xehanort. They are Terra Xehanort now. So if the time traveling was written well, what would have happened is young Xehanort would have came back to the present with these hearts, and they would have just been disappeared. They would have just been gone, because they are recompleted as Terra Xehanort. Alright? And I'm hearing people literally bending over backwards to try to explain how old Xehanort and Xemnas and Ansem are back again. And it makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. Alright? If there was mention that Xehanort was different and that he could house multiple hearts in his heart as well, then that would make sense, alright? Because then they would have gone back to the Terra Xehanort in the or they would Terra Xehanort would have housed both of those hearts in him. But it's explicitly stated that Sora is unique, that he is one of the like only people who can do that, have multiple hearts in him. He has like Roxas in him, Ventus in him, Xion, Kyrie, I don't even know, he's so many hearts in him, right? It was never explicitly stated, oh, Xehanort has the same thing too. So Dream Drop Distance, it's getting the lowest rating. And also, old Xehanort being back makes absolutely zero sense as well. And then, like, it makes no fucking sense. And then, you know, the explanation for old Xehanort being back is like, well, actually, young Xehanort went back in time to when old Xehanort put his heart inside of Terra and took over his body, and they grabbed his heart. It's the same bullshit. It's the sheep leading the sheep. Just stop, bro. Stop moving the goalpost. If it's trash writing, say it's trash writing, Kingdom Hearts fans. If it doesn't make sense, just say it doesn't make sense. Stop trying to, you know, turn water into wine. It's water, okay? It's not wine, okay? Stop moving the goalpost. Just say it how it is. It's bad writing, and it doesn't make sense, alright, guys? So, old Xehanort being in Dream Drop Distance also pissed me off as well, because it was like, how is he even here when he gave up his body to become Terra Xehanort? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And the whole time travel thing, like I said, that also doesn't make sense because old Xehanort's body, or his heart, is in Terra Xehanort. So you can't have... And Terra Xehanort, and Xemnas and Ansem are a product of Terra Xehanort. So you can't have, like, these two at the same time and, like, Xehanort be a thing as well. It has to just be Terra Xehanort. Be the, you know, they should have had it so he was there instead of old Xehanort. Old Xehanort being there does not make any sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense. And this is where, that's why I give Dream Drop Distance the lowest rating, is because this is when the writing just degraded. They thought they were Hirohiko Araki and they could just, they thought they had the sauce. No, they don't have the sauce. They aren't Hirohiko Araki. Araki can turn, you know, water into wine. He could turn freaking rocks into gold. He could make something that doesn't make sense at all, and people will go, that's fine. Because you want to know why? Because he has finesse. Hirohiko Araki has great finesse with his writing. But the finesse on Dream Drop Distance was just so bad. It was not good at all. Old Xehanort being in here makes no fucking sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They should have recompleted as Terra Xehanort, from which they originally came from. Not from Master Xehanort, from Terra Xehanort. And anyone trying to, if anyone in the comments is going like, oh, well, actually, this and this and that and then that, bro, you're wrong. All right, you're wrong. Okay, you don't know how time traveling works. If they even say it yourself, if you are not there in the present, you can't go. You can't move back there. So, like I said, Ansem and Xemnas' heart, they are no longer present in the present day. So when young Xehanort brings their hearts from the past to the present, which is completely possible, it would not work out. They would just disappear because they're now back in Terra Xehanort's body. So it doesn't make sense. People trying to make sense of it are, honestly, these guys are idiots, and they think they're like, these guys are fake intelligent, fake, you know, fake smart people. These guys have literal PhDs in fucking Mountain Dew, in Masters, in Hot Cheetos, and Hot Pockets. Right? They have zero education, alright? Don't listen to these fake intelligent Kingdom Hearts people online. They have no idea what they're talking about. Dream Drop Distance makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense, alright? That's why it gets the worst rating in the game, alright? Whoever thinks that this game is great, I'm sorry, you're an idiot, alright? You're an idiot. Sorry, guys, long rant. I had to rant about Dream Drop Distance because it brought out so much degeneracy and so much misinformation for the Kingdom Hearts community. Like, they just need to say how it is. It's none of it makes sense. It's bad writing. It's horrible writing. Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix. I don't even need to think about it. I don't even need to think about it. It's S tier, alright? It's got its issues, but it's the beginning of the game. It's the classic hero's journey. Good versus evil. I have some issues with the writing. The writing felt a little bit paper thin as well. There are obviously some moments where where Sora's personality got to shine and the main overarching story of Kingdom Hearts 1 got to shine. But for the most part, the worlds were just go there, fight the bad guy, go to the next world, hope that we get a cutscene that explains something, and then just move on, you know? But regardless of that, everything else is amazing. The game, the world, the combat, the feelings, the emotions that are brought out. This game is an S tier. There's no other. It's the first game in the series. You can't rate it anything lower. It's an S tier. It's great. It's amazing. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's amazing. All right. Now we're moving on to what is the perfect game in the series, Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a perfect game. The only negative I could think about this game is that this was the game that started to deepen the lore, which started to make things get a little bit more confusing. Kingdom Hearts 1 was very self-contained. Like I said, very basic hero's journey, good versus evil, no nobodies, no, no retcons, just, Kingdom Hearts 1's great. Kingdom Hearts 2, though, like I said, it's when it starts to bring more convolutedness to the series. But it's still very easily, it's very, I wouldn't say easy, but it's, you can still follow it pretty well if you're not, like, the most intelligent person. You can still understand everything that's going on. Once again, just a continuation of the hero's journey, and some would say the real ending of Kingdom Hearts. Because every game after that was just an absolute nightmare. But yeah, I think this is probably the game that is closest to perfect. I would say it's like, if I was to rate, I think I rated like a 9.7, 9.8 or something like that. I didn't find much wrong with this game. There was an issue though that I had with Donald and Goofy losing abilities that they had in Kingdom Hearts 1. In Kingdom Hearts 1, and just the progression of, as you progress through the series, the party members become less like party members and more just like sidekicks. They kind of like lose their identity a little bit. Donald loses like 2 or 3 magic spells in Kingdom Hearts 2. Goofy loses a couple of abilities as well. And you kind of just start to lose their identity, and I didn't really like that a lot. But I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 had Auron in it, so I mean, that's just, Auron is one of the coolest Final Fantasy characters. Kingdom Hearts 2 is amazing. It's the best game. The world progression also is the best. I love the world progression. The first time around you go to the worlds, you experience the movie with the sprinkle of Kingdom Hearts story in it. And the second time around, you experience the Kingdom Hearts story with sprinkle of Disney movie in it. So it's like flip-flop. So, Kingdom Hearts 2 is a near perfect game. I honestly would say it's perfect. There's really nothing else to really talk about. It's the best game in the series. Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories. Oof. There's so much I like about this game, but there's also so much I absolutely despise about this game. First of all, the combat is not the greatest. It could be better. There's like 50 abilities that you can use, and only like 5 of them are viable against the bosses, the late game bosses. I don't really like that. I'm not a big fan of it. The story is amazing. The story is so good. The reason why I love this game so much is because this was the beginning of Riku's path to the light, path to the dawn, as he says. Where, we see Riku is one of the main antagonists of Kingdom Hearts 1, and then if you guys played the games, you know that he changes, and Chain of Memories was that start of the change, that beginning in which Riku decided, I messed up, where he realizes I messed up, I need to atone for my sins, and it creates this amazing relationship with him and Mickey, like a father-son kind of relationship that Riku was always longing for in Kingdom Hearts 1. Riku was always lonely. He was always jealous of Sora's friendships, of all of the, the light that, surrounded Sora, and it ended up eating him, and he ended up getting manipulated by Maleficent and Ansem because he was lonely, he was weak. He needed a friend, and Chain of Memories Reverse Rebirth gave Riku that friend, gave Riku that mentor to lead him into the right direction. And Riku's 180 turn, or 180 from being one of the main antagonists of KH1 to being one of the coolest characters in Kingdom Hearts, it all started in Chain of Memories. And it's amazing, alright? Chain of Memories also introduces the Organization 13 for the first time, which was a really cool, which was really cool for the first time playing it, being like, ooh, there's this whole, like, organization, super mysterious, scary, all that stuff. Like, what's their motivations? Like I said, the only downfall is Riku's gameplay sucks fat ass. His shit is ass, and then Sora's is not much better. It's fun to spam Mega Flare, but it's not that fun. I would never return back to this game for the gameplay. I would only return back to this game to experience the story again. The gameplay is horrible. The abilities that you use to fight bosses, they do nothing. They literally, half of them do nothing. And it's not good because the bosses on Proud Mode are hard, man. Like, they're difficult. And you have this giant array of abilities to use, and only like 5 of them work on the bosses. So, Chain of Memories story is amazing. And honestly, you get to see the whole Naminé thing, and Sora and the organization. You get to see Axel, a fan favorite. One other issue that I will talk about for the story-wise, that I didn't really like when I played it on the channel, was the ultimatum that Naminé brought upon Sora. Sora, at the spoilers, this is all spoilers by the way, so I'm sorry, but if this game is like freaking 15 years old, if you haven't played the game, then freaking whatever, right? It sucks to be you. But Naminé at the end of Chain of Memories told Sora, hey, you have 2 options. You can either remember everything that you experienced in the castle, but lose all your memories of all your friends, or you could gain all your memories back that you had, of your friends and stuff, and lose all your memories in the castle. And obviously Sora chooses the latter, right? He loses all his memory in the castle, and gains all his memories of his friends back and stuff, and recreates his memories, because Naminé was destroying his memories every single time he moved to the castle. You know the deal, right? The reason why I didn't like that is because Naminé was built up the entire game to be this all-powerful witch that can control memories from literally rooms away and do all this stuff, and there was not an explanation as to why she couldn't just do both, Like, why can't Sora have his memory? Why can't Sora have his cake and eat it too, Why couldn't Sora have his memories of his past and the memories that he had in Chain of Memories? There was no explanation for it. I would have liked an explanation for it to be like, whether it be subtle or in-depth, just going over like, oh, well, if we, I don't know, just something, right? Like, if, we bring back your memories from the past, it's going to, and we bring them to the present is going to, mix up badly with what's happening in the present time. I don't know. Just something to explain why Naminé couldn't give Sora both of his memories back of the castle and the past. There was no explanation, by the way. Alright, you can go back into the game. I watched the cutscene multiple times. There was no explanation. It was just Naminé going, you have a choice. It's either one of these two. And I would have loved an explanation because Naminé is extremely, extremely powerful. She could do both. As the audience, I was like, I don't really believe that. I don't believe that she can't do both, but she couldn't, so. That was an issue I had. I'm gonna put it, this one's a tough one, because the gameplay sucks ass. The gameplay sucks ass. I'm sorry. For the Game Boy Advance, it might have been good. The Marluxia boss fight was super sick. I loved the second phase of Marluxia. He looked straight out of Final Fantasy. Like, it was such a Final Fantasy looking boss. It was so cool. Is it better than Birth by Sleep though? I think the writing is a little bit better than Birth by Sleep. I think Birth by Sleep's story is better, but the writing of Chain of Memories is better. I think they're on. Man, this is actually a tough one. What's better, Chain of Memories or Birth by Sleep? This is why I don't really like tier lists, because like it doesn't matter. Like they're both like equal, you know, or like, you know, and it's all opinion based anyways. Like one could be better than the other, you know. You could like BBS over Chain of Memories, or someone could like Chain of Memories over BBS. So it's all just like subjective. I want to try to make this list as objective as possible. It's definitely not on the same level as 358 over 2 days. No way. No way. It's gotta be a B. It's gotta be a B. But is it better than Birth by Sleep? Well, I'll leave it like this. I'll leave it better than Birth by Sleep for now. Union Dark Road. I don't even know what this is. I don't live in Japan. Melody of Memories, like I said, I don't know what this is. And now, what we've all been waiting for: Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, Kingdom Hearts 3 is an interesting one. It was extremely overhated when it first came out. I hated it when it first came out. But now, having played all the games, I don't hate it nearly as much. It doesn't bring about the convolutedness of Dream Drop Distance and the horrible writing behind the time travel behind Dream Drop Distance, but it also does bring in a lot of other confusing things, like how Xion and Roxas are back, and, you know, the whole replica thing, and just it wasn't complicated, but the pacing was bad in this game. They should have been, they like Square Enix loves to just like touch up, like just sprinkle some information in the middle of the game and then just offload everything, exposition dump everything at the end. When in reality, they should have just had a nice gradual lead up to the climax and then the end of the game. So the whole Roxas and the Xion thing, I just wish that they built a little bit better into it. Also, like I said, seeing Ansem and Xemnas just doesn't make sense. And then also seeing Terra Xehanort and Master Xehanort next to each other makes no sense. It makes no sense. Stop trying. Kingdom Hearts fans, stop moving the goalposts. I'm telling you right now, if you want to explain to me, if you're in the comments getting rage baited by this, trying to like write an essay on how they're all back together, just stop, because you're moving the goalpost. You're moving the goalpost. It's bad writing. It's bad pacing. Just say it how it is. It's confusing. It doesn't make sense. Just say it how it is. All right. Other than the negatives though of this game, man, the finale is freaking amazing. Hate me all you want. Tell me that the Skyrim of Severance was boring. It was not boring. Skyrim of Severance was amazing. All right, that was the clash between the 13 Secrets of Darkness and the 7 Guardians of Light. That was the clash. It felt like a freaking clash. All right, it felt crazy. It felt crazy. All right, it was great. And honestly, the Disney Worlds were really good too. People hated on the Disney Worlds here. The Disney Worlds were great, man. They're the only miss that I experienced in the Disney Worlds was San Francisco and Monstropolis. San Francisco was a little bit dull. It had not much life in it. And then Monstropolis just felt like a heartless room simulator. Like you go to the next room, more heartless. And then you go to the next room, more heartless. All while Mike and Sully are going, we gotta get Boo back to her door. We gotta get Boo back to her door. It was so static, the story. And I feel like something that it would have greatly appreciated from a lot of dynamic stuff happening. Like just, you know, a lot of action happening. But there was not a lot of action. And I'm not talking about like fighting. I'm talking about like action and the dialogue. Like There wasn't a lot of action. Just move from room to room, fight things. Mike will go, hey, we need to get Buddha a door. Sully will go, hey, we need to get Buddha a door, you know? So those are the only misses. People hated on Arendelle. The only thing I didn't like about Arendelle was that Hans should have been built up better, okay? All we had was that Kristoff guy going like, oh yeah, Elsa, what's her sister's name? Elsa and, dude, what the frick is her sister's name? Anna. Anna's going to see Hans, her lover, and like, you know, and it was just one line, and then the next scene we see Hans carrying Elsa. He's you know, corrupted by a dark cloud, and then we go to the city of Arendelle, or whatever that city was. I think it was Arendelle, right? And then we see Hans trying to attack Elsa, and then he faints, and then it was just like, okay, like that's one of the main villains that you're building up for it to be, but we only see him 3 times in the entirety of Arendelle, the world of Arendelle, and it was paced horribly. It would have greatly benefited from maybe having a cutscene of Larxene possessing Hans or something, you know, like how we saw with Marluxia and Lady Grothel from Kingdom of Corona. Marluxia kind of like, you know, pulling some dark strings. You know, I would have liked to seen that, but they didn't do that, which makes no sense because they did it in Kingdom of Corona and it worked out perfectly. Kingdom of Corona is chef's kiss, by the way. But they didn't do it in Arendelle, so it doesn't make sense. It's like, why not just do the same thing you did in Kingdom of Corona with Arendelle, except now Larxene is the aggressor, you know? So Hans, that was my only issue with Arendelle, is that the main bad guy, we saw him for like 3 seconds and he passed out, and then we just never talked about him again, you know? So I thought the Disney Worlds were great. I thought the finale of the game was great. The Remind DLC was okay. I didn't like how we had to literally slog through the entirety of the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 again with no interruptions to the cutscenes, the full cutscenes being played out. They should have paced that a little bit better, in my opinion. But the finale of Remind DLC was, holy crap, that was freaking sick. The finale of Remind DLC was freaking sick, dude. Anyone who says otherwise, you're just wrong. So I'm at a standstill. I don't know what to put Kingdom Hearts 3. I gave it, also the limited cut episode felt like an ass pull. Literally, like, the whole story behind the limited cut episode was, okay, we're gonna go through the data of Sora and maybe we can find something as to where Sora is. And then once you beat all the bosses, Sid's like, oh, well, actually, it meant nothing. Oh, and then the Fairy Godmother's gonna come in. Actually, yeah, she could have just gave us the answer the whole time. So, according to, as a story, the limited cut episode was ass. Like, it made no sense. It just, like, they just put that in there just to put it in there, and they didn't really have a great story behind it. Everything could have happened with the Fairy Godmother without us even doing the limited cut episode, because at the end of the limited cut episode, they go, oh, we found nothing. And they're just like, kind of felt a little bad. But at least Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't pull a Dream Drop Distance in introducing a completely new world-bending mechanic in the game, which was time travel. They did have it in the game, but it wasn't the first time we seen it. First time we saw it was a Dream Drop Distance. It was done absolutely horribly. Kingdom Hearts 3, overhated? Yes, 100%. Is it underrated? No. It is just a good game. It's a good game. And I think, I don't want to put, yeah, I think we're going to put it at top of B. And there's my list with a little bit of explanations as to why I put them in the places that they are. All right. Let me review this list, see if it's looking good to my standards. Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep Final Mix could be swapped around. I just put them next to each other. They're like the same level. I kind of did enjoy Chain of Memories stories a little bit more because it was more compact. It was more fluid. It felt like it knew what story it wanted to tell, and it told it well. Birth by Sleep, on the other hand, it was kind of hard. I feel like they didn't really know what story they were trying to tell because they had 3 characters, and like all 3 of the characters had 3 different stories, and with 3 different characters, 3 different stories, you need great writing for that. And I feel like the writing was just not amazing. It was just very surface level. The writing was very paper thin, and it was just not deep, when the story of Birth by Sleep is very, very deep. So that was like the downfall, and those could be intertwined. I think I like this. 358 over 2 days could be an S tier game, but I never played the game, unfortunately. Recoded could maybe go up a little bit more, but I never played the game. I only watched the movie, and the movie sucked ass, if I'm being completely honest with you. Dream Drop Distance, that shit deserves its own rank, because that game literally ruined the lore of Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry. And it literally brought about so much misinformation within the community with no concrete information given to us by the creator. Like, it's like he just said, here it is. And the reason why I'm pretty sure Nomura and the writers aren't explaining Dream Drop Distance, because the reason why they did that is because they said they just needed a reason to have Terrazan or Master Zan or all these guys back in one game, without even caring about whether them all being back together even applies to the laws of time travel or not. So I love the game up until the final act, but that final act literally just destroyed the entire structure of Kingdom Hearts, and for that it's getting its own rank. I don't think I played any D tier games. I don't think anything was like D tier. Maybe the Remind DLC you could put in D tier, but there is no Remind DLC. I didn't play Melody of Memories. I didn't play Union X Dark Road, so I can't rank those. But these are all the games that are on the Steam bundle. So this is my tier list. Let me know what you guys think of this tier list. Is it valid, or is it chopped, and is it unk? Let me know what you guys think. This is my first time ever doing a tier list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the tier list. This was kind of fun to do. It was basically just me going over my thoughts and opinions of every game that I played. But guys, that's... And I swear to God, I'm not rage baiting you guys by putting Dream Drop Distance at the lowest. It's ass, alright? Stop moving the goalpost. Stop moving the goalpost, Kingdom Hearts fans. Stop moving the goalpost. Call a poop in a bag a poop in a bag. Okay? Stop trying to make gold out of fart dust. Okay? Please? Alright. Yeah, I think I like this. Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 1, 358 over 2 days, Kingdom Hearts 3, Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, Fragmentary Passage, back cover, and then Recoded, and Dream Drop Distance. I like this tier list. Let me know what you guys think, guys. This is the last Kingdom Hearts video. So guys, from now on moving forward, I know you guys might not like it, but I don't care, alright? Because I'm playing what I want to play, alright? Indie games, story-driven games, some popular games. We were gonna play Silent Hill F, but I had to spend like $1,000-something on new PCs, new PC parts. So gonna do that, you know, and I gotta be saving money right now. So we're gonna just play the games that I already have in my library that I haven't touched yet. So guys, tomorrow we are going to be initiating more single player games, but no Kingdom Hearts. So just stay tuned. If you guys want to know what videos get uploaded, hit the bell notification, subscribe. We always do the premieres, so you'll have like a notice before of like what video is going to, or what game I'm gonna be playing. Let me know what you guys' opinions on Kingdom Hearts or my tier list, and then let me know in the comments what your tier list is. Like you could just write like S tier equals this game, A tier, B tier, you know what I'm saying. I would love to know what your guys' tier list is. This is obviously my opinion, guys, but I try to make this as objective as possible, you know. And like I said again, just because a game is in C tier, just because a game is in Dream Drop Distance tier, doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't play the game. Play the game. See for yourself. Don't just listen to, you know, influencers online. Play it for yourself. Make a conclusion yourself, alright? I think this is a good tier list. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Man, I'm sad though, guys. I'm sad, man. We're done with KH, and Kingdom Hearts 4 we're in the Kingdom Hearts 4 waiting room, which hopefully it comes soon. But yeah, guys, that's my tier list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys want to see more tier lists of things. Let me know, because this is the meta, alright? So, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow for more games. Not Kingdom Hearts, though, this time, but more games. Alright, guys? I'm out of here. Peace!